So students, our today's topic is complexometric titrations. So what are the complexometric titrations? Complexometric titrations are the titrations in which a stable and soluble complex is formed between the metal ion and the ligand at the endpoint. Suppose we are having a metal ion represented by M having N positive charge, and it is combining with X number of ligands, and so it will form a complex MLX with N positive charge, metal ligand complex. So in complexometric titrations, when ligands combine with a metal atom or ion, they form a stable and soluble complex. So such titrations in which a stable and soluble complex is formed between the metal ion and the ligand at the endpoint are known as complexometric titrations. Now I introduced you to a term ligand. Now what is a ligand? Ligand is defined as an atom or group of atoms that can donate a pair of electrons to the central metal atom or ion. Ligand का मतलब है कोई भी एक ऐसा एटम या ग्रुप ऑफ एटम्स जिसके पास लोन पेयर हैं और वो लोन पेयर किसी मेटल एटम या आयन को डोनेट कर सकता है, दैट इज़ नोन एज लिगेंड. नेक्स्ट, कमिंग टू द टाइप्स ऑफ लिगेंड्स. लिगेंड्स कैन बी ऑफ डिफरेंट टाइप्स. सो फर्स्ट टाइप इज मोनोडेंटेट लिगेंड, सेकंड bidentate, and they can be of further different types like tridentate, tetradentate, and so on. So beyond bidentate we can say them as polydentate ligands. So first of all I am discussing monodentate ligands. As the name is suggesting, monodentate ligands are the ligands which can coordinate to the central metal atom or ion through one donor atom only. Monodentate ligands ऐसे ligands होते हैं जिनमें एक ही donor atom होता है. जैसे for example, if I take example of ammonia, water, chloride, cyanide ion, in all these they are having one donor atom. For example, in ammonia atoms are 4, but only nitrogen is having lone pair of electron, so it acts as a donor. So it is having only one donor atom, so ammonia acts as monodentate ligand. Similarly, water, total number of atoms in water are 3, 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen, but only oxygen is having lone pair of electrons, or in case of water there are 2 lone pair of electrons. So but only oxygen can donate, so it is also an example of monodentate ligand. Similarly, chloride and cyanide ions also. Next, I am coming to bidentate ligands. What are bidentate ligands? Bi mean 2. So bidentate ligands are the ligands that can coordinate to the central metal atom or ion through 2 donor atoms. And example of bidentate ligands are ethylene diamine. You can see ethylene diamine. What is ethylene? In this case, this is the formula of ethylene diamine. So this I am highlighting, this CH2 unit is ethylene. Now you can see in this, in ethylene moiety I have placed 2 amino groups, each on each carbon, so it becomes ethylene diamine. So this is an example of bidentate ligand, and you can see in this 2 nitrogens are there, which I have highlighted in olive green or olive blue color. So it acts as a 2 donor ligand, so I can say that ethylene diamine is a bidentate ligand. Similarly, oxalic acid or oxalate ion, I would say, you know, oxalic acid is a dicarboxylic acid having 2 carbon atoms only. So if I remove 2 protons from oxalic acid, then it becomes oxalate ion, and the formula of oxalate ion is COO negative, COO negative. So it is having 2 donor atoms also, so it also acts as bidentate ligand. This is oxalate ion. Next, polydentate ligands. Now poly mean many. So polydentate ligands are the ligands which can coordinate to the central metal atom or ion through two or more than two donor atoms. Now donor atoms, if donor atoms are more than two, they can be 3, 4, 5, 6, so on up to 7, 8. But we shall discuss them one by one. If we are having 3 donor atoms, then the ligand is known as triadentate. Tria mean 3. And if a ligand is having 4 donor atoms, then it is known as tetradentate. And if a ligand is having 5 donor atoms, then it is known as pentadentate. And if having 6 donor atoms, then it is known as hexadentate. So depending on the number of donor atoms in a ligand, we can classify them as triadentate, tetradentate, pentadentate, hexadentate, and we can collectively call them as polydentate. And we shall discuss the examples of all of them one by one. But EDTA means ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, is an example of commonly used hexadentate ligand. It finds various applications in purification of water, in medicine also. So I'm not going into that details, but now I am coming to examples of different types of ligands that we studied. That is, first of all, biadentate ligands. I told you earlier, ethylene diamine is an example of biadentate ligand, and in short it is written as small en. You can see in red I have highlighted it. En mean ethylene diamine. Oxalate ion OX, as oxalate ion is having 2 negative charge, so I can write it as OX2 negative. So it is also a biadentate ligand. And glycinate ion. Next is glycinate ion. What is glycinate ion? You know, glycine is a simplest amino acid. Glycine is simplest amino acid. Now what is glycine? The glycine is first amino acid or simplest. You are having methane. The formula of methane is CH4. Now if I replace 2 hydrogens of methane, one by amino group and another by COOH group, then what we will get? We will get NH2. You can see NH2 CH2 COOH. Then it becomes glycine. So this is the formula for glycinate ion, because it is obtained after the removal of proton from glycine. So this is glycinate ion. So you can see in this we are having 2 donor atoms also. One is nitrogen atom and another is oxygen. So it is another example of biadentate ligand. Next, triadentate ligands. Example of triadentate ligand is diethylene triamine, and in short it is represented by DIEN. Diene, not diene. Diene mean 2 double bond, but that is having E suffix also, DIENE, that is DIENE, whereas it is DIEN. So DIEN mean ligand diethylene triamine. So you can see what is the formula of this. This I am highlighting with selecting it. This is 1 ethylene unit CH2CH2, and this is my second ethylene unit CH2CH2. So 2 ethylene units are there, so that's why it becomes diethylene. Now you can see I am having 3 nitrogens or 3 amines. One is this primary amine and another one is secondary amine in between the 2 methylene groups, and third one is another primary amino group at other end. So we are having 2 ethylene units and 3 amino groups. So that's why its name becomes diethylene triamine, and it is known as diene. And another example of triadentate ligand is glycerol. Glycerol is, or we can say glycerine. So what is the formula of glycerol? CH2OH, CHOH, CH2OH. So it is having 3 oxygens in it, so these can act as donors. I have highlighted donor atoms in olive green here, or olive blue color I can say. So it is also an example of tridentate ligands. Now I am coming to tetradentate ligands. Tetradentate ligand, example of tetradentate ligand is triethylene tetraamine, and in short it is written as triene, TRIEN. So you can see I am saying triethylene. So you can see here I am selecting the text which I want to focus on. This is first ethylene unit, this one is second in the middle, and this one is third. So I am having 3 ethylene units, so that's why its name is triethylene. Now how many amines I am having? It is having 4 amino group. First primary amine, then second secondary amine, third another secondary amine, and fourth other primary amino group at the other end. So in total I am having 3 ethylene units and 4 amino groups. So its name is triethylene tetraamine, and you can see I have highlighted the donor atoms in olive blue color. So it is having 4 donor atoms, that is 4 nitrogen atoms. So it acts as tetradentate ligands. Next is pentadentate ligands. So example of pentadentate ligand is ethylene diamine triacetic acid. Here I am saying ethylene diamine triacetic acid. It is having 3 carboxylic acid groups. So you can say in this is ethylene unit, and this is first amino group, and this is second amino group. So this becomes ethylene diamine. Now if I replace ethylene diamine hydrogens, 2 hydrogens from one nitrogen atom and 1 from other, and attach there a CH2COH unit and 2 CH2COH unit on the nitrogen, from which 2 nitrogens are removed, then it becomes a pentadentate ligand. So you can see here I am having ethylene unit and 2 nitrogens, so its name is ethylene diamine. Now in all I am having 3 carboxyl groups, so it's, or 3 acetic acid moieties, so its name is ethylene diamine triacetic acid, and it is having 5 donor atoms, 2 nitrogen atoms which I have highlighted in olive blue, and 3 oxygen atoms from each carboxyl group. So it is having 5 donor atoms, that's why it is pentadentate ligand. Next is hexadentate ligand. Example of hexadentate ligand is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. Now instead of having 3 acetic acid moieties I am having 4. So all 4 hydrogens from 2 nitrogen atoms of amino group are replaced by acetic acid moieties. So it becomes ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. You can see this is ethylene, now this is diamine, ethylene diamine. Now if no acetic acid were there, then both the nitrogens would have 4 hydrogens, but if I remove 4 hydrogens, so each nitrogen can get attached to 2 acetic acid moieties. So overall I am having 4 acetic acid moieties. So its name becomes ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. And to make it more clear, I have shown its structure below. This one, this is the structure of ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. So in the center ethylene unit is there, this is ethylene unit. Now it becomes ethylene diamine, but all the hydrogens of nitrogens have been replaced by 4 acetic acid moieties. 2 I have shown in red, 2 in black, just to introduce clarity. So overall it is having 6 donor atoms, 2 nitrogens which I have shown in olive blue color, and 4 oxygens, 1 from each carboxyl unit. So it is hexadentate ligand. Now next I am coming to chelating ligands. What are chelating ligands? Now in coordination chemistry, although we are studying analytical, but in coordination chemistry, we are having ligands. I told you the meaning of ligand earlier, but I told you that ligands need not only to be monodentate, they can be bidentate, they can be tridentate and polydentate. Now what are the ligands? Chelating ligands are the ligands which can coordinate to the central metal atom or ion through 2 or more than 2 donor atoms. They are known as chelating ligands. What are chelating ligands? The ligands which can coordinate to the central metal atom or ion through 2 or more than 2 donor atoms, they are known as chelating ligand. So we can say that chelating ligands are generally bidentate or polydentate. Chelating ligands mean monodentate ligands are not chelating ligands, but bidentate, tridentate and polydentate, they can be regarded as chelating ligand. Now from where does this chelating word comes? So for this I will focus on chelates or chelate complexes. Now the chelate, term chelate is derived from Latin word chela, which means, or chela in Latin means claw. Claw, you are familiar with claw of birds, mean panja in Hindi. So chela mean claw. So the name chelate comes from Latin word claw. Now what is the meaning of chelate or chelate complex? What happens when a metal combines with a bidentate or a polydentate ligand? Then a metal is surrounded by a ligand from more than one sides. So I can say that metal is engulfed in between the claws of 2 or more than 2 donor atoms of a ligand, just like a claw grasps its prey. So in the similar way, ligands catches hold onto a metal and forms a ring around a metal. So what are the chelates? The ring like structure formed by a bidentate or a polydentate ligand with the central metal atom or ion is known as chelate or chelate complex. So please keep in mind that chelate complexes are not formed by monodentate ligands. They will be formed only by bidentate or polydentate ligands, because ring can only be formed if we are having a ligand which can coordinate to the same metal atom or ion through two sides or more than 2 sides. So in order to be introduce further or make you clear further, chelates or chelate complexes means the ring like structures formed by a bidentate or polydentate ligand with the central metal atom or ion is known as a chelate. And for this I am showing you the structure of a metal EDTA complex. Now please see in this structure, EDTA is a hexadentate ligand. Now hexadentate means that it is having 6 donor atoms, but as I told you earlier that in EDTA, out of 6 donor atoms, 2 are nitrogens and 4 are oxygens. So if I am having 6 donor atoms, then I can say that around the metal atom or ion we need 6 corners. So in order to arrange 6 donor atoms around a metal atom or ion, we need 6 corners. So most common geometry for that is octahedral, because octahedral is having 6 corners. So octahedral is shown in this diagram. You can see in this nitrogens I have marked in orange. So 2 nitrogens are present at the corners, 2 corners of a square, and they are attached through CH2 mean ethylene unit. So in green I have written ethylene unit. So ethylene unit is there, it lies in the plane and is attached to 2 nitrogen atoms which are present on the 2 corners of a square. So this ethylene unit and both these nitrogens are present in the plane. Now I am coming to the groups attached to these nitrogens. So each nitrogen is having acetic acid moiety. So there are 4 acetic acid moieties. So first is, you can see in the nitrogen which is present on the upper side is having CH2COO unit, carboxylate unit of acetic acid or acetate. So it is I have shown this in orange just to mark the first acetic acid moiety or acetate moiety. So A, and I have marked its oxygen also in orange. It means CH2COO, which I have shown in orange A letter or alphabet, they are present in the plane, in plane, or in the same plane in which nitrogens are present. And the nitrogens, similarly the second CH2COO unit, which I have shown marking by marking in red, CC. So you can see in this 2 nitrogen atoms and the oxygens which I have marked in orange and red as A and C. So all these 4 atoms are in plane. So I can say that CH2 unit, 2 nitrogen atoms and 2 acetate units which are attached to the metal atom through 2 oxygens, they all are present in one plane. So out of the 6 corners of octahedron, I have occupied 4. Now I am left only with 2 corners. One is above the plane, and another is below the plane. So in this you can see the nitrogen in which just to excuse, there was some problem with the audio, so I am continuing again. In this, I have accounted for 4 corners of octahedron. Now, so each and 2 acetates of each nitrogen. Now I am left with 1 acetate on each nitrogen. So the upper nitrogen is having another acetate group, CH2COO. So please note in this that I have highlighted it in magenta or pink color, so and marked it by B. So you can see that its oxygen is attached to the metal atom from above the plane. So I have written it above the plane. So it is occupying the topmost corner of the octahedron, and the 4th acetate group, which is present on the other nitrogen, is highlighted in blue color. So it is attached to the metal atom through oxygen, which is marked as D, and it is present below. So you can see in this that metal atom is surrounded from most of the sides, or all, I can say all sides almost, by donor atoms, or ligand is surrounding the metal atom almost from all the sides. And to be more clear, I can say that 2 nitrogens and 4 oxygens are holding the metal atom in between their cavity, I can say. So a ring is formed around the metal atom. So we are getting a ring like structure. So this is an example of chelate complex, because this structure as a whole is ring like. So this is a chelate complex. So I think now it is clear what is the meaning of chelate complex. The ring like structure formed between a metal atom or a ion and a bidentate or a polydentate ligand, that is known as chelate. Next is chelation. Now what is chelation? As the name is suggesting, chelation is the process of formation of chelate complex or ring like structure between a metal ion and a chelating ligand is known as chelation. Now you already know that how a chelate is formed. It is formed by combination of a metal ion and a bidentate or a polydentate ligand. Next, I am coming to chelate effect. Now if I ask you one question, that which type of complex would be stable? If I am having a monodentate ligand, or suppose I am having monodentate ligands, large number of monodentate ligands, they are surrounding a metal ion, or I am having lesser number of bidentate or polydentate ligands, then which complex would be stable? Then in such a case, because a polydentate ligands or bidentate or polydentate ligands form a ring like structure, due to which metal gets entrapped in between the ring of the ligand. So tendency of the metal to escape from that ring is reduced. Hence I can say that chelate complexes are more stable as compared to the complexes formed by monodentate ligands. So what is chelate effect? I can say that increase in the stability of the complexes by using chelating ligands in place of monodentate ligands is known as chelate effect. What is chelate effect? Increase in the stability of the complexes by using chelating ligands is known as chelate effect. Why? Because complexes formed by monodentate ligands are less stable as compared to that formed by polydentate ligands. And why? That I already told you. And for this I am taking an example. For example, let us take the example of tetraamine copper 2, and I am comparing it with bis-ethylene diamine copper 2. This complex is CuEn twice 2 positive is bis-ethylene diamine copper 2. Now if I compare the stability of these two, then tetraamine copper 2 is having all monodentate ligands. It is having 4 ammonia ligands, so they all are monodentate, whereas although donor atoms are 4 in both the cases, whereas in bis-ethylene diamine copper 2 we are having 4 donor atoms also, but ligands are bidentate. So copper will be surrounded by ring, or I can say copper, around the copper a ring like structure will be formed by ethylene diamine ligands, but not by ammonia ligands. So that's why bis-ethylene diamine copper 2 is more stable as compared to tetraamine copper 2. And why? Because I can say that later complex, that is bis-ethylene diamine copper 2, is having chelating ligand, so it would show chelate effect, whereas ammonia does not show chelate effect. So this is all about chelate effect. Thank you.